Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Morning Wood. This is the Morning Wood, where you get what, Missy?
Wood, it's so good.
You're supposed to say, wood, it's so good, because I'm doing it like, ugh. I don't know why I'm doing it, for. Anyways, I'm stupid, that's why. This is a Thursday. John Morgan, read your messages. Missy sent you something to explain something to you, so, yeah, there's a reason why you're not on today, and I do apologize, but you'll be on tomorrow. So anyways, Miss Parker should be joining us shortly. Should be. She said she wanted to come here. She asked me yesterday, can I come on and ask Landy questions? And now she's not here. She won't black people time though. Color people time. They show up late all the time. They'll tell you that, not me. That ain't me, that's them. Okay, we're joined by Landon today. We got the last goal to bring Landon back to YouTube day is today, and yes, it is bigger than shitheads. I don't know why it's taking so long for people to come in. Sometimes it does this, don't it, Shabby? A lot of times it takes a minute for people to.
Yeah, it seems it's a lot better on this channel than mine, though. So
yeah,
probably it'll go up to like 30.
I know there's a whole bunch of mess going on this morning. There was a bunch of people on Shanny's channel earlier because Shanny was doing the stream, and I seen Negs in there, and I got to talk to Black Guy TV for laughing at things that Neg said, because that's not no. But anyways, you hit John. Was that not the right John Morgan? Oh, that was not the real John Morgan. Okay.
The first one was. The second one wasn't.
Oh.
Anyways,
this is the last of the landing goals day. It is bigger than shit, like I said. We are going for $1,500. I know it's a major one, but I said it all along. The last one was going to be huge. Landon's got some things he's going to say about he's going to do. He'll say it better because I always forget everything Landon says. So I'll let Landon explain his little goal here.
well, by the way, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on your time zone and latitude, from your friendly sector astronomer. And hello there, great Pimpmunk. And of course, it's always fine to be on with MissyAnn. And of course, a big howdy to his greatestness.
Howdy
on there. On there. So we have been working on this goal that help Pimpmunk, really help his mom, but you know, that's okay if it helps Pimpmunk as well, and all about his mom. And so I've been really appreciative of you folks out there helping with his stream goals. Right, this is the 42nd stream goal, and if we successfully achieve this stream goal, whenever it happens, then I will return to the YouTube chat.
Yeah.
Now, yes. So I will show up there, and I will type in messages into the YouTube chat. Now, you might say, well, why did you do it right now? Well, because Pimpmunk's not the only one that gets banned on YouTube at times, and so I had some issues. We'll just blame Red Eye.
Yeah.
We'll just say, blame Red Eye on those things. And so one of the things that they want to do in my coming back is they want me to actually have a channel, right? The problem occurred was there was an issue, and because I had a channel but no content, they couldn't put me in a timeout like they do, Pimpmunk on a regular basis. So the process now is for me to get a branded channel, to get a number of subscribers, and so that I have a real channel. So if I were to say something in a chat that would offend an Australian like Red Eye, which is easy to do, allegedly, then I would just put me to timeout rather than ban me. So here's part of the goal. I have this new channel called Our Favorite Universe. This is going to be about sciencey stuff, wine and cheese. It's not going to even try to compete on comedy. With no one can compete with the great Pimpmunk.
That's right.
I'm not even gonna try, but it's going to be about now on that channel right now. 2 videos. They're about Cisco Espresso Central and making espresso. I need to have some content there. I will put content on it. I will put real content. In fact, Pimpmunk and I are going to have a thing. We're going to do a wine and cheese where I'm going to send Pimpmunk some smoked Gouda, his favorite cheese, a wine to go with that smoked Gouda, and we will sit down and have a chat. So there'll be real videos out there and also sciencey stuff. But I need your help to help Pimpmunk. Here's how. Our favorite universe, I can put the link, I'll put the link in the description below. For every subscriber, up to 100 subscribers, I will donate $10 to Pimpmunk.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So right now we're at 9 subscribers, and someone can type this into the chat here. I'll put the link there.
Here, this is the first video I found on the page. Or you're at an espresso machine. I'm looking at you. The video.
But that's the channel. So our favorite universe. So if you subscribe to that channel right now, there's 9. So he gets $90 up to the first 100. So you can be part of the holy 100. That I'll donate $10 to Pimpmunk to help on this audacious stream goal. Now I know he's got $1,500. I'd like us to blow past that $1,500, right? Because again, it's out to help Pimpmunk's mom, who is ultimately very, very cool. So all you have to do is go to that channel and subscribe, right?
Yeah.
And he'll get $10. Now there's 2 videos there, so if you can give the videos a thumbs up, that'll help. But Pim, they want to see it be a real channel. Not some sock account type thing. So we'll do some stuff. But again, this is all about ultimately helping Pimpmunk help his mom.
There you go. So for every subscriber, you give $10.
Up to
100 subscribers.
Yeah. So there you go. So someone can put that link of our favorite universe link into the chat.
The link that I posted in there brings you to your first video.
We're at subscribers, so he's got $200.
Yeah, PT Ham subscribe.
I subscribed.
Get it out there, and thank you kindly. Thank you kindly.
Yeah.
Thank you kindly. So I mean, Pimpmunk, you subscribe too if you.
I did actually. I'm trying to get that money. So do that, and also tip, and that where Shabby will match every dollar with $500. But now
there you go. He's his greatestness.
Yeah. Now, so if
he also has the greatest.
So if he made 100 subscribers this morning, which we'll have to say about that, but that'd be $1,000, right?
Yeah.
So there you go. That's pretty good. And then we need 500 more to make that stream go. So,
now it is true that Red Eye allegedly, actually, really was the first subscriber, right?
Yeah.
This is all part of Red Eye's fault.
Red Eye's a fucking old cooter bastard, though.
And I apologize profusely to alleged Australians for making an alleged joke that could have been considered offensive to Australians.
Yeah.
And I apologize because you do not tick off Red Eye, because he'll get you banned for life from YouTube.
There's the proper link right there.
Yeah.
So there you go.
So thank you kindly, John Morgan, Missy, PT Ham. And you can tweet it out to get other people to subscribe, because you have to, part of the thing of being a real channel, it's a branded channel, it's got to have at least 100 subscribers. And if people could give a thumbs up on the 2 videos, again, I know they're about espresso at some place you don't care about, but again, they want to see it as being a real channel, and that'll help. So thank you kindly.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
So we are now at 28 subscribers. So he's got $280.
Yeah, that's $2,800.
Yeah. He may be the great Pimpmunk, but he's not necessarily the great multiplier.
Yeah. Anyways. We can
so
get
how is your mom? By the way, how is your mom doing? How is her birthday? How is she doing?
She had a great birthday. She's an irritable old lady. No, I'm saying she's doing all right. She's doing. We had a hell of a day yesterday. We went through we had a scary day weather-wise yesterday. It was yelling for EF5 tornadoes all day yesterday, right? And if you know anything about that, which I'm pretty sure you do know a little bit about that, Landon, EF5 tornadoes is the worst you can get.
That's some serious
Yeah, that's some shit right there. but fortunately, we did not get those. Fortunately, our state actually got we got some weather, but it wasn't that as bad as they were expecting. But Alabama got hit though.
Oh, I'm sure you're.
Well, I don't like them. I don't like Alabama, but I don't want people to die. But but they just need to move from that state anyway and demolish it anyway.
Because the problem is, if they start dying there, they'll move into Mississippi. And
and I don't want that to happen because I hate Alabama with a passion. But anyways, I actually lived in Alabama when they had the last F5 tornado, and I know what an F5 tornado can do. I've seen the damage, and it's horrible. It was like a war zone, dude. It was horrible. So I'm glad that. We didn't go through what they were expecting, but it was a pucker string kind of day yesterday. Let's just put it that way. I swallowed my pucker string a couple of times, and I had to go to Connecticut and grab Missy's birthing sack.
But anyway, so we're at 29 subscribers. Please share it. Ask people to subscribe. That's all, and you can get the great Pimpmunk some $10.
Yeah.
Easy way to donate to there. Now we need some more tips because that's going to get them to 1,000, right? And remember, we got to get to 1,500 before I go and join the chat. But you can help.
That's another thing. We got to get to 1,500 before he will open up his account and go into chat and all that stuff. So, y'all motherfuckers.
And you understand, it's a matter of trying to comply with the rules of this tube stuff, and they want it to be a real channel.
They're
and
stupid,
you can help make it a real
rules.
channel.
They got these stupidest fucking rules. I hate this fucking. I wish that there was a competitor. I really do. I really. There's not, and there's probably not going to be, but I wish there was a competitor, a real competitor. Elon Musk, do something, you bitch. I'm joking.
Isn't he supposed to be doing something? There's supposed to be like a new.
Yeah, they say this every year about there's somebody. We thought for a long time, and I used to say this a lot. I honestly thought Amazon would do something, and I always said that Amazon had the money to actually compete and it could do it. They never really tried though. So.
And again, I know that the people are trying. And so hopefully in the market of good ideas there'll be better.
The crazy thing is, Landon, is there is actual sites that's got better quality streaming.
Yep.
It's not that they can't compete with them as far as it's that the people don't want to leave YouTube. People, we all know we're creatures of habit. And we like what we used to, and that's BitChute has potential. No, it does not. BitChute, well, it did when it first opened up its site, and then it became a safe haven for right-wing QAnon racist motherfuckers. So no, it's not. No.
I thought Storyfire was going to have some potential, but it didn't.
Well, no, but Storyfire was a what is it called when somebody does it to basically kiss their own ass? Not a cosmetic project, but fuck, I can't think of what it's called. Anyway, it was done for certain users. It was done for certain users, for him and his friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I can't. Dumb. Yeah. Which I think they closed down already, didn't they?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah. Anyways, what you doing, Shab? You ain't said nothing, man.
He's muted.
I was sharing Landon's stream with the world. I mean, his channel with the world.
Thank you kindly. And helping raise money for Pimpmunk, so that Pimpmunk can help Pimpmunk's mom.
Vanity Project. Thank you, Two Guns, for helping me with what I was trying to think of. That's what Storyfire was, in my opinion. It was a vanity project. Because I don't know words very well, so Two Guns came in with words.
Thank you for words, Two Guns.
Yeah, thank you for words. I don't know where the fuck Miss Parker is. I'm about to put my foot up her little tight ass. That very delicious, very shapely ass that she has.
I was hoping to be online to chat with Ms. Parker.
She's
Ms.
probably
Parker.
asleep.
Teach us how to say it properly.
Well, I think it's supposed to be Mrs. Parker, but I'm from the hood, so it's Miss Parker.
Ms. Parker.
Now, G-Man goes, Miss Parker.
Miss Parker. Sounds ridiculous.
Ms. Parker. But you would say Ms. Parker.
Miss Parker.
Ms. Parker.
Yeah. Words are
Ms.
hard.
Parker.
Yes, they are, August. But by the way, I don't mean to honk on it, but everybody that's coming in now, if you go to Landon's channel, link will be shared again in the stream pretty soon. Subscribe. Every subscriber he gets up to 100 subscribers, he will give $10 a subscriber, and that will get me $1,000, and that will be almost the goal we need. Well, not almost, but close. We're going for the $1,500 to bring him back on full use of YouTube. So there you go.
Yeah. I know. If you get to 100 subscribers, then so share it with your friends and ask them to subscribe. No cost on subscribing, and then I'll give $10 to Pimpmunk to help Pimpmunk's mom. Because Pimpmunk's mom is cool.
And she's a heroin addict, and so she needs her drug.
I be careful. She might hear you and
she likes that smack, man. That's what she calls it. She said, "My smack." It's funny because she's old, right? That's why it's funny.
Oh,
not making fun of heroin addicts. Not making fun of heroin addicts. But I am making fun of old people. So sorry, Landon.
Yeah.
Because hey, look, I can make fun of opiate junkies anyway. Because I'm an opiate junkie. So there you go. Which I think we can make fun of opiate junkies anyway. Everybody should be made fun of. Fat people, skinny people, Shabisky especially, on anything.
His greatestness, we can make fun of his greatness.
We watched this last night on the Ultra Perspective, we watched this old public service kind of movie thing about Nazism and stuff, and it was weird. But it was these very bad. It had a good message. But all I took away from it was don't litter. Because it didn't make sense to me, but still, anyways.
I like how the beginning of that thing started with a guy hooking up with a girl and then getting jumped.
Well, it was about making,
and he's supposed to be a
sucker.
Yeah, he's supposed to be a sucker because he got jumped. Like,
yeah, I don't know how they equated. That.
It's like, what if you switched it? It was a woman that got jumped or whatever. They wouldn't put that in there and try to frame it as she's
think
a sucker.
A real man wouldn't get jumped.
Yeah. He was doing something wrong. They said he was cheating on his wife, but that didn't fit the thing at all. Didn't fit the rest of that.
It was pretty fucked up.
You're fucked.
What? Y'all talk 1 minute.
So anyway, so hopefully things are going well there in the Pimpmunk household. They survived a F5 warning down there in Mississippi. But
they did, but there's one on its way now. He hears it.
No, right on the very next street, there's a whole shitload of ambulances, police cars, and all kind of shit going on. Somebody hurt bad or something.
They're looking for you, Pimp.
I didn't have nothing. I was just being curious. It's funny, I can see lights over there. Anyways, okay.
So we're at 32 subscribers.
That's $3,200.
So we're making there. So if you can tweet that to your friends and just ask them to subscribe, it's an easy way to get $10 for a string goal to help Pimpmunk's mom, who is cool.
Help my mama. Oh, John Vega's watching. So John Vega's he's a tipper. Oh, PT Ham gave $45. Said give it some time. Thank you, PT Ham. There you go. Somebody be writing this down to where I know. Like,
I'm trying to.
Thank you, Missy. I appreciate you. Because I always forget and whatever.
If we were at 32 And Landon did that, and then 45. That would mean we're at 1,000. We need 1,135.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's get that 100 subscribers and let's do my penis. Let's do tipping because basically the goal is $1,500. And if you subscribe to Landon's channel, he will give $10 for every subscriber up to $100. So that'll be 1,000. So really, we need y'all to subscribe and to tip up to 500, basically.
Yes.
And then Shabisky will get naked and rub upon Missy's leg.
Yeah.
And then she will call the police for sexual harassment.
Probably.
And then he will go to jail and get fucked by a dude named Bruce.
Most
Allegedly.
likely.
And then he will call me and I'll go kick Bruce's ass. Mm-hmm. And then I will go to jail for violating Bruce because I'll probably fuck Bruce in the butt because I'm really horny because I ain't had no pussy since last March. And because of the fucking pandemic, so I'll probably take a trip to Florida and beat Trump's ass for not helping us quicker.
Allegedly.
Why don't you just get that machine that I was showing you yesterday?
I'm not getting anything that twists on my dick.
It spins.
Pussy does not spin.
You might like it. You can. It looks big enough. You could probably put your balls in there too, and it'd be like twirling her tongue around. So you got to think about these things.
Nobody can do their tongue like this, Missy. Not with a dick in your mouth.
I thought they put it on a merry-go-round and have the lady twirl, and you say, I mean, that's just.
Well, you can do it with my dick because my dick's like this. But anyways, go ahead. What'd you say, Landon? I'm sorry, I was totally.
No, I was gonna say I thought that they had the lady turn around on a like a merry-go-round thing.
You get a little midget and stick around your dick.
What massage parlors you were going to, Landon?
The ones at the midgets that you can put on your dick and spin them around like a top.
Don't go to the ones in Atlanta. Your ass will get shot.
Oh, sad things.
That dude shot up a bunch of people, and he said it's because they contributed to his sex addiction.
Really?
Yeah. Because look, a lot of those massage parlors aren't massage parlors.
They aren't?
No, they're happy endings.
So one question is, if someone actually wanted a real massage, let's say their back's hurting or something, how do you actually go about finding a massage parlor that actually gives massages?
Well, I would suggest probably don't go to the one that's advertising little tiny Asian girls on the outside. Probably, yeah. If you're just wanting a massage, see, that's the ones I'm going to, the ones with the little tiny Asian girls, because they're awesome. Because I actually did go to one of those in California one time. I just want to see what it was out. I want to see because I always heard about the massages with the happy endings. So I went there and they got this menu and they got a little certain wording on the menu that, so I checked the box and I got my happy ending.
Oh, damn.
But all she did was hand job me. She didn't like nothing special. But she had little tiny hands, and so it made my penis look bigger, so I was happy for that alone. That's the reason I always have sex with midgets. And Missy's a midget, too. Missy's like 2 foot tall.
I don't know. Shit,
I don't know. Honestly, don't know how. I don't know if Missy is short, though. I do know that.
I'm only 5'6".
Well, that's not too short. I mean, it's short, but not like.
No.
My mom always wants to argue.
Average? I don't know.
My mom wants to argue that she's like 5'1", 5'2". My mom's like pushing 4'11", right? I mean, I don't know why she wants to argue that she's tall, but she's little. Best way to feed sex addiction is to murder sex workers, right? Yeah. Makes sense, don't it? Shabisky, when are you going to start your career in massage parlors?
I already have. How do you think I make my money? People don't donate to me. I got to go fucking jerk off people all day.
Yeah, you do.
In fact,
you're tired all the time.
Yeah, I'm really tired. There was like 10 dicks, maybe 15 I had to go through yesterday. Like, oh my God.
John Vega just gave $150.
Well, thank you, John.
Wow. Holy shit.
Thank you very much. Well, we're at 34 subscribers.
So that's $3 million.
So So again, share that thing with your friends. Ask your friends to subscribe. Every subscriber up to the first 100 subscribers, you can be part of the Holy 100. Gets $10 to the stream goals so that Pimpmunk can help Pimpmunk's mom, who is cool.
Absolutely. So, well, see, one of the things we were going to do, is Miss Parker said she wanted to join because she can ask you questions, and yet we don't have no questions for her. So, Shabby, you asked Landon some
Miss Parker
scientific
will come.
questions.
I hope she'll come. I'd like to say, but yes, Shabby, your readiness.
Landon, Shabisky's got some major scientific inquiries he wants to know here. So, go ahead, Shabby.
How does a piano work, Landon?
Well, piano is people think of it as a stringed instrument, but actually is a percussion instrument, right? When you press down on the key, there is in the back a leverage which causes the hammer to come up and boing, and the piano has strings of fixed length for each note. And so the pressing down on the key causes the hammer, which is a really percussion. It's sort of like if you had a little nice dulcimer type hammer and you're going ding 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 down the side. The nice thing about the piano is that, and one of its inventions, important inventions over something like harpsichord, is harpsichord, like a harp. There's a reason why they call it a harpsichord. Was that in harpsichord, in a harp, the string is plucked, right? And so plucking, and the string goes doing, right? Whereas with a hammer, you can tap it lightly or really whack it, right? Now, the earliest pianos are not like the modern pianos we have that you can see in his greatest synthesis background over there, yeah. Those have what's called an iron frame. The early pianos looked more like a harpsichord, if you know what a harpsichord looks like. And in fact, my brother builds, they're called now pianoforte. And again, that was a time where people like Mozart, would have played, or Beethoven. You've probably heard of Beethoven. Beethoven was known early in his career as being a great pianist. People would flock to his concerts because he was actually a really good a piano player. Of course, he often plays on music as well, which people loved. And Beethoven's actually credited with helping make the modern piano, because Beethoven's works, he wanted to have more expression, more a brighter dynamic range. So he was the one that started expanding the piano. He wanted piano makers wanted Beethoven to play their piano in his concert, right? It was great advertising. And so Beethoven kept expanding, and he would play the instrument, aggressive enough that he would pop a string or two during the performance. Of course, people would cheer when he basically would go really flying by the piano, boing, right? So piano makers tried to make more and more pianos that would stand Beethoven's really intense type of stuff he would do. And also we have now 88 keys on the common piano, and Beethoven is credited for saying, I want more high notes, more low notes, and expanding. So the early forte pianos had only, I think 5 to 6 octaves. And so Beethoven is credited with expanding more dynamic range. Now, one of the things is that the early forte pianos were like harpsichords, made out of wood and metal strings. And the problem is, in order to get more sound, because now people are flocking to Beethoven's concerts and having concert halls, and how you have a concert hall of 1,000 people and the people way in the back hearing the piano well, you need to have more volume, and they didn't have microphones and speaker stuff on there. So what piano makers started doing, modern piano makers started doing as a result of that, is creating what's called an iron frame. So the piano you see in his greatest synthesis background over there, he can point again to that spot there, has an iron frame. The reason why the iron frame is that it allows you to have more tension on those strings, so that when you press the key and it goes boing, you get more power, more dynamic range. And so even though Mozart, was really loved sort of the ability of how you can do expressiveness, so it was Beethoven that really helped push and establish the modern piano. So
Well, there you go.
Thank you, Beethoven.
Now, how does poop work? I'm joking.
Well,
I'm joking.
So anyway, I hope Ms. Bacher is doing fine and that she can grace us with her presence.
I hope her toes will fell off then, because if she don't show up, I hope her fucking foot falls off.
We're at 34 subscribers. Trying to get to 100.
Yeah, 340.
So if you could take that link and share it with your friends and just ask them, even though they're not watching you, ask them saying, hey, Pimpmunk's mom needs Pimpmunk to support her, so subscribe to this channel. And now I promise that channel, Our Favorite Universe, will have stuff regarding our favorite universe. And because my expression, I enjoy living in my favorite universe. Well, it's our favorite universe. And so there'll be sciencey things on there and wine and cheese stuff. And
strip teasing.
Yeah.
So just hit that link Shabby shared. Go subscribe. Every subscriber he gets, he gives me $10 up to 100 subscribers. So that's $1,000, folks, for Pimp. And the goal in today is to bring him back fully into YouTube to where he'll join the chat, talk to you people and all that stuff. And you want that. So we need a total of $1,500 with, so there you go. There's already been some donated, so I don't know what it's like 150 and 45, so 195 has been donated. Yeah. So
we're at 36 subscribers. Thank you kindly for that. And see, the thing about it's a branded channel, and they say in order to be considered a real branded channel, you have to have 100 subscribers. Right? That they all get a URL, won't get that weird thing on there, and then if for some reason Red Eye gets mad at me, allegedly, then all I have is be timed out as opposed to being a lifetime ban. This is all Red Eye's. Well, I don't say fault because he might get mad at me. So, so what do you think?
Red Eye's a bitch, though. It's okay if he gets mad.
Oh.
I'm just saying.
This is a little known fact about Red Eye.
What's that?
Did you know that Red Eye's cat is a communist?
I didn't.
Yes. Red Eye has an avowed communist cat.
Wow, that's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if Red Eye would confirm that or not, but yes. See, aren't they all brazen girl? Well, it's possible that they all are, but I have actually heard Red Eye's cat avow things like boycotting Australian wine. And wanting, a certain Chinese company's 5G to be promoted and other political aims of the party. But yes, it is true. I think Red Eye did confirm that Red Eye's cat is an avowed communist. And I've heard, Red Eye will sometimes ask his cat questions like, do you support blah 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 something? People's Communist Party, blah, blah, blah. And the cat will blatantly promote.
I ain't Red Eye needs to quit doing acid.
Yeah. But anyway, and if we get to 100 subscribers as well, I'm working on getting this wine and cheese thing, and we'll do a chat where he'll have some Australian wine allegedly, and I will have some wine and cheese, and he'll probably get some New Zealand cheese because New Zealand cheese is pretty good down there.
Yeah,
and we'll have a conversation.
New Zealand cheese. I will throw poop at you. No, you will not, because that's a long throw.
Well, it's got to reach up, but I'm sure that's certainly possible. Yeah, and of course we'll have Shabisky on, but
Yeah.
he's not, he's muted, so we'll see. But yeah, I will for example send some smoked Gouda to Pimpmunk, and a bottle of wine that I think will go well with smoked Gouda, and then we'll have a wine and cheese conversation.
There you go. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you, Raisin Girl, for there. Good to see you, and I'm hoping that we can return again. The return back is having a branded channel that has the minimum subscriber thing on there. So we've got 41 subscribers.
There you go.
Thank kindly. We're at 410. We're at 41 subscribers so far.
Well, hopefully we can.
Every subscriber donate $10 to Pimpmunk so Pimpmunk can help Pimpmunk's mom.
Hell yeah. And that's what it'll be doing, brother, is paying bills and doing that good shit. So I appreciate it. Y'all keep on subscribing, keep on tipping. We've what, baby? I'm sorry.
Sorry, it took me forever to find that.
Oh, I didn't. Okay, I'll just anymore. So we've made 195 so far as tips, and then whatever Landon's done so far on the. He said 41 subscribers.
Yeah, we're right. So sorry, I've been watching there, reloading it. So thank kindly for those who subscribe. And again, that channel, we're going to have stuff on sciencey things, and we'll have some wine and cheese stuff. Again, you can blame wine and cheese for on Red Eye as well.
Yeah, Missy's going to start doing a channel with she's going to drink beer and hookers. She's going to have beer and hookers and. That's what it's going to be.
Sure.
But what about Shabisky? What will Shabisky do?
Dab in Hot Pockets.
Is Hot Pocket something you eat, or is that a euphemism for something else?
Well, it's what he eats, but you can eat that other Hot Pocket too.
No, I actually want to do like something to do with serial killers because I know a lot about serial killers.
You want to talk about serial killers? Yeah,
Killers.
You don't want to work with them.
Flakes and checks and wheat discs and those sort of cereals, right? Cornflakes killers.
Yeah, Lucky Charms and Twix, or not Twix, Tricks and.
So what's your favorite cereal? What was your favorite cereal as a kid?
Golden Grams.
Golden Grams.
Apple Jacks is where it's at. Or Frosted. Oh no, not Frosted Flakes. Regular cornflakes.
I love Golden. I still love Golden Grams.
Yeah.
I still get those. Like, I don't know what it is. It's just I like graham crackers, I guess. It's a cereal that tastes like graham crackers.
Well, I am with Pimpmunk. I like the basic things like regular cornflakes because you can then dress them up as you please.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like Frosted Flakes.
Now, in college, they had all kinds of various cereals, and so I'd get a basic cereal, like let's say a bran cereal or a cornflakes cereal or something like that. That's okay. And then I'd add on little toppings. So if I had like Fruit Loops, I'd add a couple of Fruit Loops as my sugar on it, or Apple Jacks, a couple of sprinkle a couple there just to give it a little nice dusting, but.
That's neat. I always put fruit in my cornflakes stuff.
Bananas.
Missy. I just heard a name for that channel for if you want to do about cereal killers, seriously, cereal tubing.
Okay.
All right, that's seriously, that's a good idea. Anyway, I like stuff about serial killers too. It's morbid shit, but yeah, whatever. Will there be a cheese field trip to Cooper's Hill, England?
Oh, that would be fun. England has some really great cheeses.
Yeah,
they're it's got great stuff, and so it would be fun to go to England to explore the cheeses of the back English country.
Thank you, Vega. Vega just gave wait just 1 second. Vega just gave another 150 and said wine and cheese.
Excellent.
Vega, you are an awesome person.
Yeah, Vega's my new sugar daddy. Go ahead now. Go ahead and talk about your cheese there, Missy. I'm sorry.
I wasn't going to talk about cheese. I was like, since we're talking about different places, I know Landon's been like, to
Everywhere.
crazy places. I just recently started looking into that. I'm going to butcher the fucking name of it. It's that Göbekli Tepe in Turkey.
Okay.
And I wanted to know what you thought of the fact that they think that that entire structure was filled in purposefully.
And I think I don't know the reasons why there's a controversy about that. I think there's credible things that the structure was there's a in Turkey where it was filled in versus it was originally open air, and there's debate about whether or not it was a purpose thing or not, or it collapsed, or it filled in there. But I know that some of the things, like, for example, that there are places in Turkey and the Anatolian Peninsula where archaeological stuff has undergone transformation. For example, the great Hagia Sophia, which was originally a Christian church, actually a cathedral that had collapsed, but was rebuilt in I think like the 5th century, if I recall correctly, and stayed as a cathedral until Suleiman the Great captured Constantinople in 1452. It became a mosque, and then it remained a mosque until Ataturk established the Turkish Republic, and it became a museum. And recently, there's this guy named Erdogan, who is kind of like the orange-haired Turkish president, pandering to the crowd, kind of like another orange-haired president.
Yeah.
Decided to turn it back into a mosque. And so now what was originally a nice museum where it had issues, things of Islam, of the Crusades, of early times, it's now becoming, quote, proper Islamic, unquote. And they claim they're going to be keeping there. But of course, if it's a true mosque, then all the other stuff goes out the window. So Erdogan has actually, I think, done great damage to the Turkish Republic. And he understands, like a certain orange-haired president, to pander to his base, even though he doesn't believe in his base, gives him power.
Mm-hmm. For people who don't know what it was that I'd asked Landon about originally, I don't think I'm pronouncing it right, but it's Göbekli Tepe. And it's basically, they found this like gigantic Stonehenge basically looking thing in Turkey that was buried. But everyone knows like Stonehenge is, the circle. But this is like a giant fucking acreage of these monolithic, and there's carvings on them. And
I put it into the chat, our local chat, the
okay.
link, so you could post a Wikipedia page so that you can understand what she's talking about. But please go ahead.
It was super, super interesting to me because the thing that I was watching on it noticed that there was this certain carving in a lot of the different structures that were around that looked like this. It's almost like a basket or a bag of some sort. And he was like, I've seen this carving on every other carving of every other civilization spanning hundreds of thousands of years apart from each other, but they all are carving this like certain thing. And it was just super interesting to me.
So I visited the site, and it was during the 1999 total solar eclipse expedition. And we were in the area between the Tigris and Euphrates River, near the border. It's in Turkey, near the border with Syria. And the actual eclipse site was actually a little bit farther to the east, near the place where Turkey, Syria, and Iraq meet. But in this particular case, this area is rather ancient, and this site their claims are that they've dated it back to 9,500 BCE.
Wow.
And so they think that they think that this site is actually about 7,000 years older than even Stonehenge.
And that's what's crazy to me, because if you look at the carvings on this stuff, they're gorgeous.
I think that the people back then that were able to congregate and build structure, build city communities, were not just hunter-gatherer,
no, not at all. You can
people
tell
that thug and bang on rocks. They actually were, they had that capabilities, right? They may not have had as much of the records there, but they're obviously these. Now, it is very likely that Tepe was constructed and added to over time. So I think what you can say is that perhaps the first objects were probably
not as ornate, maybe.
Yeah, and they've added to this sort of thing over time, and so it remains, large parts remain unexcavated, and that's been fortunate because, and perhaps with the current situation in Turkey, one of the problems that is a problem with Erdogan pandering to the Islamic base is that they then demand that things like this, which according to the religion are bad, be exterminated, right? And so we've seen with places like ISIS, which is operating some in an area, when they get into control, they go in and destroy things that they consider to be.
That's what got me thinking too, like a lot about this history stuff, because we think, like, when we find these things and they're 7,000 years older than one of the oldest structures that we know about, and it has obviously more detail, and these people were obviously advanced. I think that during history, when people were getting conquered and this and that, they were literally they just wiped out all of the information.
Yes, right, and the stuff was lost. Now, we stayed with a family in at the 1999 eclipse site. We visited a family, and they were in a city that was actually the second oldest known city, Jericho being the oldest, second oldest known city that's still occupied. I mean, there's been ancient cities, but this is a place where they were they travel back thousands of years, and these people showed us things of their ancestry, and they showed us things like bronze knives and so forth that were like 5,000-6,000 years old, of stuff that their ancestors had been there for quite some time.
Crazy.
So this area they call, sometimes they call it cradle of civilization. By that meaning, not that people originated there, but some of the earliest known collections of people that organized into a society where there was enough resources that people could specialize, right? How do you get somebody carving stone blocks and moving them there? Well, if they had to spend all their days going out finding berries and seeds and so forth and trying to survive, they couldn't do things like these stone works. So, part of civilization is a bunch of people getting together and saying, okay, you work on herding some animals to milk to get some dairy stuff. You go and work on some plants. If people begin to specialize, and you could then, with enough resources, have people specialize and do things like art. And I think
a lot of it was lost too.
And so, but then what happens is somebody comes along and does a YouTube strike on them and says, some troll comes in and people disperse and go away. So
you lose all your history.
Yes, you lose all your history, you lose all the stuff you build up, and you have to go back and redo it. So this is no doubt being filled in was probably a case where and the debate is, was it destroyed and buried, or did the people decide, hey, we can't stay here anymore, and so they filled it in and covered it up?
Yeah.
I think they were trying to protect it because from what I saw and read and stuff, all the sediment, it wasn't like a over time kind of thing, like blown in through storms. It was kind of like all at once.
Yeah. By the way,
that's what makes me believe that it was a deliberate thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to give a shout out to Loki Larry, a very honorable gentleman. Looking forward some time to actually getting a real hug. Larry is a great hugger, right? He's a professional hugger, and so thank you, Larry, for coming by. And I just want to point out we're trying to raise money, a stream goal, in order to help Pimpmonk's mom, who is cool.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're at 45 subscribers to Our Favorite Universe. So that's $450.
Mm-hmm.
In order for me to come back, part of the thing is that the channel that I'm coming back on has to become considered substantial by YouTube. And so that's part of the thing is 100 subscribers. So we're trying to get to that spot.
So 45, so that's 453, 45. Whatever. So the goal is 1,500 total. So we got 795.
Yes. So we're moving along. And so here's an easy way to get, $10, right?
Yeah. Hit that link.
Subscribe. And then you go and go and email to your friends, say, hey, just go and subscribe to this channel. Because we can raise money to help a guy help his cool mom, right?
Yeah. Cool mom.
So we're at 45. So back to the thing with this wonderful spot here. So there's a lot of these civilizations that came together and then for some reason disbanded. I mean, we've seen stuff like in North America here, the Mesa Verde region in the so-called Four Corners of the United States, where there was civilization that was actually fairly advanced, cave and cliffside dwellers. And then they left, and the assumption could be that it was because of drought, and strain on resources. It's also sort of a notion that strain of resources created strife within society, and there was political disagreements and drama and that sort of thing. I know it's hard to believe, but there's places outside YouTube that actually have drama.
No,
I just put it out there. And so this Taipei Place could have been one of those spots where the resources dwindled, or there was political drama or religious drama or whatever. And it looks like instead of it being abandoned, there was this like, let's cover it up and protect it and leave.
I saw this other thing where they were using LiDAR to fly over parts of the Brazilian rainforest.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they found like 800 more civilization that they didn't know were there.
Roads and other things in there that were,
and that was like
crossroads.
That blew my mind. And they were excavating this one thing that they thought was like a temple, and they're going down and they realize that the temple that they're excavating is 600 years old, or however old it was. I'm just throwing a number out because I can't remember what it was. And it was built on top of one that was 800 years older, and it was the oldest thing. They were like, holy shit, like we didn't even think that there was a civilization here that long ago. Like the things that they're learning now is absolutely incredible, but you never hear about any of it.
Yeah.
You don't hear about these discoveries that these people are making.
And oftentimes, and Larry Rakes makes a really good point, that a conquering force sometimes comes and wants to destroy what's there in order for it to become the center, right? So if you are the head of a group that can conquer it, and you basically destroy their little channel, if you will, their YouTube channel, and make your channel the king of spots, then you get more yourself. So oftentimes conquering forces will also, they will come in and ban even the mention of the old civilization and destroy it.
And then you lose all of that history. It's just gone.
History.
We've seen in Egypt where a new dynasty, a new family will come in and gain control. And first thing they do is wipe out all of the statues and all the things of the other group and destroy them and bury them. Of course, we can see evidence that they're there, but they become then lost in antiquity.
You know, I've been to Egypt quite a bit, and I don't see none of that shit I see. But because there is an Egypt, Mississippi, but still.
Yeah. Is Egypt, Mississippi a pretty happening place?
No.
It just makes you think how much other things were lost to history that we have no idea about.
By the way, there's double lot 6 space in the chat. So we're here trying to help Pimpmonk's mom raise a goal of 46 subscribers. So someone can post a link. All I have to do is subscribe. Send email your friends saying, "Hey, subscribe to this thing," because if you could be part of the first, you can buy the first Holy 100, and that'll, if we get 100 subscribers, not only will the channel become, do consider to be, sort of substantial, but or enough to bother to get a URL, but it'll help Pimpmunk help Mom. It was cool.
The population of Egypt, Mississippi is 10,404.
Wow. That's a pretty big place.
It's actually more people than I thought, to be honest with you. I thought it was way less than that. Which is
that a bigger town than the current town you're in, or about the same?
It's in Chickasaw County. I've only been there like once or twice, but not really. Let me see. No.
Thank you, Larry.
Let's see what the population of my town is.
Double, not 6.
I think it double something. Yeah, actually, it's a couple thousand more people than what we've got here. So, yeah.
So easy way to.
Well, that was in 2011, though. Mississippi's grown since then. New Albany has,
Is Shab pooping?
I think so. I think it's a long.
I think he's got a turd stuck in his butt because he's
got a long.
I'm glad you was that graphic with it there, man.
But anyway, so that particular channel, I'm right now there's 2 videos regarding espresso at my former employer. I just had to add some content there, so those are placeholders. We will have stuff relating to science and wine and cheese, so there'll be real content there. But it's kind of chicken and egg thing where you got to get subscribers to get content, get subscribers.
Thank you for saying. I was saying, speaking of wine, I got into a heated discussion yesterday with one of Shab's Shab fam community members, because he posted in the general chat on Discord that him and his mom had gotten into a big argument because he found a study done by Dr. Frederick something or other from the University of Bordeaux. Okay. And he was able to prove that wine experts don't know what they're talking about at all. And that he was taking really expensive wine and pouring it into a cheap bottle and then giving them both glasses were the exact same wine. And these people were telling him 2 different things and they didn't know the difference between white and red. And this member of Shab's community is convinced that all wine experts are just dumb now. And it's like, wait a minute, I've been bartending for 9 years and I can definitely tell you the difference between a white wine and a red wine. Yeah. Like there's a big difference between those 2. Yeah, I don't care if you're blindfolded. Yeah. Doesn't matter if you're blindfolded.
So there's a kind of difference between your opinion about wine and facts about wine, right? So, in my case, I do tasting notes. What does it smell like? What does it taste like? And describe my impressions, right? That's an opinion. Mm-hmm. I am not a sommelier who is a registered expert that has been certified, that has a high degree of knowledge. So I know that there are people who feel intimidated by it, and so they like to point at some facts, saying, "Well, they had something, and they had a bunch of fancy, expensive wines, and they had a really cheap wine, and no one could tell the difference." Right? That's true. That when you talk about opinions,
Right.
Sometimes a fairly inexpensive wine can do really well. Sometimes a quote expensive wine can be actually pretty terrible.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was telling him too. It all depends on what you're doing when you're drinking that wine too. Like if you take a bite of cheese and take a sip of wine, and then clean your palate and eat a grape and sip the wine, you're going to get two different experiences. But it all depends on your own taste buds.
And that environment you're in and how you're feeling and so forth.
Right.
So that's an opinion, right? And even Red Eye allegedly has been introduced to wine and cheese.
He's stupid though.
He's been corrupted, and he's got to learn that.
But he's really stupid though, Landon.
I love wine and cheese.
Landon, he's really stupid though, Landon. He's so stupid.
Well, but he's the first subscriber too, so he.
But that you got your first subscriber was a stupid ass, Landon.
So back to say with MissyAnn, I would say that there's a difference between people who can describe facts about a wine and people whose opinions you might value.
Oh, I can describe facts about wine.
My whole issue is that this specific person was like dead set on like, nope, all wine tastes, all the expert, they're fake. All of them are fake, and none of them know anymore. I'm like, you're looking at one study with one group of people.
I know you're a smelly derriere, but I do want to say a lot of wine people are pretentious assholes. Though.
Yes. There are pretentious wine people.
Yeah.
Some of them.
I like to try to say, and as he was talking with my father as well, I would sit there and say, Dad, here's why you might want to sip wine with dinner, and here's what it does, and show you, right? And
that's cool.
And say, here's how you can get pleasure. Now, you may not like wine, and that's if it's a wine I serve to you and you don't like it. That's your opinion. So I know, for example, His Greatestness, Shabisky, prefers wines that are on the sweeter side, and he prefers wines that are lower in alcohol content.
He's a pussy.
Right? That's his preference, right?
No, he's a pussy.
If I were to give him what some people consider to be a really great wine, but it's a very, very dry, very high alcohol content, His Greatestness, Shabisky, might not like it as well.
So basically, he wants Kool-Aid.
I like dry wine. I like a good dry Chardonnay.
I like a port. Am I right, Elaine? Isn't that what I like? Yeah, I like ports.
Yes. And port is a really fortified wine that
my favorite, all-time favorite is Cabernet Sauvignon.
Oh yes.
Oh, you just like
I like it in Noirs too, but a Barolo is a really good one as well.
Mm-hmm.
But
I like Cuba.
But the port, from Portugal, that's the reason why I think part of the thing why I call it port. Yeah. Did the fortified wines, and there's some really outstanding ports out there that are just great. Now, can I blind taste get a thing and identify as da? I'm not sommelier. I'm not a person who has that much knowledge about facts. I'll describe to you what I experience as my opinion, but I can't tell you this is a big thing that's evolving. Now I know having experience, but again, Missy, as you said, you like really dry wines, mm-hmm. and I like dry. I have preference for dry wines. It kind of depends upon the mood and what I'm.
It depends on what you're eating too.
Yes.
You don't go and get a dry Cabernet and eat like a steak with it.
Sure. So we're at 48 subscribers. That's $480 for Pimpmunk to help Pimpmunk's mom. And we need 52 more subscribers. So if you can email, tweet, say, hey, just subscribe to the thing so that we can help out this cool guy's mom.
And we need
I tweeted it out, so I put it in the It's on my Twitter. You guys
Yeah,
can find it.
And we need more tippies. And we've made 300. What did I say earlier? 45 in tips, and whatever Landon's made so far.
480.
Yeah, 480. So there you go. That's what we need. And whatever. And so it is the second hour. So what are we doing in the second hour, Missy?
We eat, man.
I want to tell you to give us money. You do so. In the description below, Shabisky has a Patreon. Please become a patron of Shabisky. He does movie nights, game nights. He's very interactive with his fans, especially his patrons. Missy has a Patreon. She's got photos for your viewing pleasure. You can wank that bank. And you can give her bank and wank. There you go. Hey, that's a new model. You give her bank and you can wank.
Bank and wank.
Yeah, bank and wank. And I have a Patreon, which we're about to start doing some more private shows and also audio vlogs and stuff like that. So, yeah, do that. And, of course, there's Streamlabs and PayPal. We just explained why we're doing the tipping thing today. So, yeah, do that. Make sure you subscribe to that link in the description. I mean, not in the description, but in the channel that Missy just posted. That is, every time you subscribe, he gives me $10. And we're at 480 right now. So, we're at 48, so that's 480. So
up
yeah,
to 100 subscribers.
up to 100, yeah, and that means he'll give me $1 million.
and every time Pimpmunk multiplies, it gets bigger and greater and greater.
Yeah, and if also there's a bonus to that channel. No, but every time you subscribe to his channel, my penis grows an inch. So my dick is up to 48 inches right now.
You seen that dude with the world's longest penis, and he has it in a bunch of tube socks, and they did the X-ray, and it's all weirdly formed.
That's fucked up.
Tumor. Maybe he has a tumor on the end of his.
It's literally supposed it's the longest penis.
Oh god damn!
What?
That's crazy.
It's sleeting outside, and someone just spun out in front of my house. They can't get up the hill.
That's why people don't need to drive stupid in weather. That's around here we get a lot of flash floods, right? Because we have a lot, especially in the summer, because we have a lot of summer rain storms and stuff. And people just drive ignorant around here, and people always wreck it. And Connecticut, where Missy's at, there's always fucking ice and lobsters on the ground.
Yep.
So I hope Ms. Parker is.
I hope her leg falls off.
I hope she's doing fine. And she's okay.
I don't know what happened to her.
She's probably still asleep. I know she stayed up late last night. She did something after. Because Rev, y'all hear Rev and Shani found their keys?
Yeah, they're saying that this morning they did a stream, by the way. She did, and I watched some, and she said it was the other key fob that she found. So.
Right. So I don't know why they were freaking out in the first place like that, because normally when you get a new car, you get 2 key fobs anyways.
Yeah, that's what she said. They lost one. They lost them both. Or somebody stole one, which don't make really a lot of sense, to be honest with you. Why did they go?
Did you follow the saga that is Shani for Christ and Revelation News?
I have no idea who these people are.
Well, you should thank your lucky goddamn stars.
You don't need to. They basically tried to hustle yesterday, and it worked. Actually, they got some money from people.
They got some money from people, and then last night G-Man was doing a fundraiser for them, and I know they were covering it. And then after the fundraiser, I think Mrs. Parker went live for a little while, and I know after you left Tap, Shab stayed and played Pew Pew Lasers for a while, and I think he's hungover.
Well, he's starting to piss me off a little bit, and I'm gonna.
I think he's hungover. I think that's what's going on.
But basically, they say, and look, and when they came out the other day and said that somebody broke in their garage or whatever, we even was very careful of what we said. Right, we was very careful because we didn't want to make fun of anybody who got robbed or whatever. But we all doubted it because these people got a history of being some really shitty people, and come to find out, we think it's another shitty thing they've done. So I blame Landon.
I'll accept full responsibility as long as I don't have any consequences. Isn't that how you're supposed to do it?
I think so.
Well, y'all need to like go and create like 158 fucking sock accounts and subscribe to Landon. That's what you need to do, right? You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so,
Let's go,
August, I think a cat might have eaten Shabisky because he's muted and off. It could be that Red Eye's cat, who is an avowed Maoist, Chairman Meow, Red Eye's cat could have done something to Shabisky. I know that Red Eye's cat had designs, has global designs, and so that may be what happened to Shabisky.
Red Eye's cat is a terrorist.
No, I just that it has world domination.
Oh, okay.
And I've heard Red Eye asking his cat about, do you support baking those fake islands out in the sea and expansion stuff, and the cat just says, yep, you support blah 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 Korea and the cat is quite blatant. It's shocking how much of a Maoist Chairman Meow is.
It makes sense. He's probably like telepathically communicating with Shab's cat because that little black cat is an asshole and Shab's always yelling at it. And the black cat probably ate Shab's.
Yeah.
Because he's hungover and he's laying on the ground puking.
Y'all really need to leave the comedy to me.
I'm trying to be funny.
Let's.
Well, now you're just being disturbing. If you're not being funny, you're just a fucking psychopath motherfucker that needs to go to the doctor.
I've been trying to tell y'all.
That Red Eye's cat actually does have a opinion about Winnie the Pooh.
Well, don't we all?
It eventually comes around to Pooh, right?
Yeah. Saying about Winnie the Pooh, it makes me. I was talking about this family that I watched on TikTok today. It's a black family who adopted a little white boy, right? And I watched the video yesterday where she was asking her little son who these famous people were, pictures that she popped up, and there was one picture of Harriet Tubman popped up, and the little boy said Winnie the Pooh, and everybody's like, "Oh, this kid is you need to stop him real quick because he's not mistaking the great Harriet Tubman." And she's like, "He thinks it's his grandma. He calls his grandma Winnie the Pooh. Y'all leave him alone." And that's what it was. He thought it was his grandma.
That's cute.
Oh.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm sorry, Shabisky, that you don't feel good, and maybe you should go get some rest. And
Shab's hungover.
Oh, you little bitch.
He's hungover.
Feel better soon. But in the meantime, we're trying to raise some money to help Pimpmunk help his mom, who's cool.
Yes.
And we're not 49 subscribers. Get 51 more. So send out to your friend. Just ask them to hit the subscribe.
Just go sub, guys. Go sub.
If we make it, I'll make my mom come in here and say something.
Mom will sing to us.
I don't know if she'll do that, but I'll ask her to.
Link is in the chat, guys.
That would be really cool if my channel gets cool enough that my mom would subscribe to it. Now I promise there'll be sciencey things and wine and cheese things in there. Right now they're just two silly videos because I can't have an empty I cannot have an empty channel. And so Dave Ninnis, the friendly Canadian, helped put together two, and they're two videos for my old former employer of tell employees how to use and clean the espresso machine. So they're not really, they're goofy content.
Mama, subscribe to Landon, damn it.
Mm-hmm.
Tell her thank you kindly.
Yeah. She's actually got a YouTube account.
Wow.
Ooh.
She don't use it, of course.
She should make videos.
Eat 3 double cheeseburgers from MacD's, or Mackers, as they say down under, to cure your hangover. I suspect the 3 is so that you well, two things: you can puke out your stuff and clean out your stomach, as well as you got to also get some calories in you, and
Gotta get the
also
fat in you and the bread and shit.
you also need to drink water to hydrate because.
I just subscribed for. I went over to her channel and subscribed for her.
Oh well, thank you kindly on behalf of the cool there. So yeah. So I understand. As I say before, we're 51, so we're more than halfway there. So thank you very much to the 51 people that subscribed.
We're halfway there.
Yeah, so that's 845 we've got total because he's going to get 500. Well, 895 total. Yeah.
Yes.
So, no, 855. 855 total. Yeah.
So Resin Girl, yes, I'll be doing some science stuff there. And we might also do some co-hosting stuff with other people there. Now, this channel will not have a humor. There'll be nothing humorous, right?
Mine there will be.
except if the great Pimpmunk shows up.
Yeah. But I can't go nowhere and not be funny. Yeah. I'm going to talk about fucking some grapes and making some sex wine.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a good way to help out. So
Shabisky, you need to drink some electrolytes for sure. That's what you need. You need something like get you a body armor drink. That motherfucker good.
Yeah, John Lewis is correct. You need some electrolytes and some water. Even don't feel like water, right? Mm-hmm. And even if it's better, you need to get some water to be able to properly puke. Mm-hmm.
What's up, Fit and Curvy?
Get you some Pedialyte and some McDonald's.
Then after you if you do have to vomit, then you need more water because not only to rinse yourself out, but to replace the water. You don't want to become dehydrated because that'll make it.
Yeah, if you were still drunk, I would suggest you go eat a cheeseburger. Mm-hmm. Because greasy food actually does help. While you're drunk, not after you're drunk, but not the hangover, it don't. But while
you gotta
drunk,
eat and drink some electrolyte shit and then go to sleep for a while. Because
real cure time. Shabisky helps. This feels good.
I don't. I hope it gets worse.
So Missy, so you like dry wine? Tell me more about. Do you have in particular things, or just?
My mom uses a particular Pinot Grigio. I can't remember which one it is, but it's a super dry one that she gets every Thanksgiving, maybe a month before Thanksgiving. And she gets 5 or 6 bottles of this stuff. And she pours it into big mason pickle jar looking things. And then she pours in a whole bunch of fresh, real cranberries. And they're all crunched up and stuff. And she lets that sit there for about a month. Mm-hmm. And then once it's maybe a week before Thanksgiving, she will pour the solution over a big bowl, but through a cheesecloth so that she can get the cranberry bits out and then squeezes it. And that's my favorite wine in the entire world.
Excellent.
I don't know. I know it's really specific, so no one else can try it, but you can do it yourself at home. Loves creating different kind of wines, and I like.
Yeah, you can make your own wine, and also you can take existing wine and add to it. You can also make a really good vinegars out of wine. Mm-hmm. That's another.
I like cooking with wine. I like. I used to do this gravy type thing. There are these pork tenderloins that the butcher used to sell here in my town, and they were coated in peppercorns. So I would sear the tenderloin, the whole way around, and then take it out, wrap it, and put it in the oven so it could finish. But I would take then the searing on the pan and deglaze it with a Cabernet Sauvignon, and then mix that and a bit of mustard seed and a brown gravy packet. And you put it on top of the pork tenderloin, and it's absolutely phenomenal. And then I also like to cook with Marsala wine.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it's completely different. Every time I say it, people always correct me. They're like masala, and I was like, no. See, masala and marsala are two different dishes.
Yes.
It's one letter, but they're two different dishes.
Yeah, one and come from two different places, very different cultures.
Yeah, very
Yeah,
different
you
flavors.
dumb son of bitches.
But chicken marsala is probably my kids' friends will come over and be like, "Can your mom make that stuff with the mushrooms and the wine?" It's probably the best thing that I cook.
All right, yeah. We got 36 minutes left of the show. Y'all need to go ahead and subscribe to Landon's channel and start tipping. We need with the goals total 1,500, right? We made 345 in tips and whatever Landon's got on subscribers. So that's so much. We need to finish this goal to where Landon can come back on YouTube and I can buy some hookers.
How many subs do you have so far, Landon?
I'm at 52 right now. Let me check. 52 subscribers so far.
That's 520.
And then you said we're at 345?
Yeah, so that's 345 still.
So yeah, we're making good progress here. By the way, I see that Fit and Kirby says that they like dry wine there, and August was talking about drinking finest box wines. Actually, some box wines actually be quite.
We need a 635.
Quite good. Now, I'm in one of the things with wine for me is that I don't like corks. Even though Rod accused me of being a cork sniffer.
Why don't you like corks?
Because corks are a anachronism and that seek to spoil wine, right?
Really?
In fact, given really a really good winemaker, a certain percentage of bottles will fail because there's a percentage of corks that just fail, right? And when you're buying wine at a restaurant and they bring it out, pop the cork, if it is a cork, and let you try it. Part of it is to figure out whether or not this wine has been spoiled. And by cork, meaning that a cork can fail, allow oxygen in and create a problem for the wine, and you start to get a taste that tastes sort of like mold, moldy, musty stuff,
like vinegary.
Yeah, except it's not proper vinegar.
No, but you still get that weird, you can just tell there's an odd either a mold flavor or a vinegar kick to it. I don't know how to describe it, but you can taste it.
Yeah, but it's sort of musty taste there, and it tastes off. And even when it's not at that level, right? A really nice wine will start to get kind of funky, and so sometimes some wines are unusual, but when you get a wine and they present it to you, now if a person knows how part of sommelier how to serve wine, they will detect whether this wine is actually a problem. Mm-hmm. And if they pull the cork and they see the cork has got damage on it, they see it's got or the wine may have, you can tell the wine is going to work its way up inside the cork. If they start to pull it and see that's bad, they'll say, if you'll pardon me, they'll take the wine away. They'll check it and get you a new bottle, right? Mm-hmm. You shouldn't have to, but maybe you try it and so if you don't like it, that's the time you sit there and say, I'm not really like this wine. Now, if it's actually a good wine and you just don't like that type of wine, you've done a bad thing to the restaurant. Right. That being said, wines can be spoiled. So what's better? Well, I prefer wines that have a screw cap.
Yeah. So does Kevin Nash, by the way. Yeah, he does actually. I know you know Kevin. And Kevin's a big wine connoisseur. I don't know if you knew that about him, but I actually watched him do an interview and he talked about he prefers wine with caps. By the way, we just got another 150 from John Vegas. And can we get an F in the chat for Shabisky?
F in the chat for Shabby.
Yeah.
The poor
54
hungover baby.
subscribers. So please, every subscriber of the first 100 subscribers, $10 to Pimpmunk. So send message to your friends saying, hey, just subscribe this thing so this guy's cool mom.
That's $4.95. Is that right? Yeah. No, that's not right.
Hang on.
54 subscribers.
Yeah, he's gave 100.
I got it written down.
Yeah, he gave 450. So that's $4.95 he's giving. So we're almost at the 500. If Landon could just make those 100 subscribers, that'd be it.
Yeah. Yeah. So back to say with stuff with wine. So the nice thing about a screw cap is that it's very definitive in terms of you're not going to have spoilage by the cap. Now there's alternatives. Some people have synthetic corks there, but corks are kind of a pain to extract out anyway. And I think that a screw cap is quite fine. Now I know some people say the cork allows some wines to breathe a little bit. And yes, you can get sort of micro exchange of stuff, but I prefer the winemaker to concentrate on getting the wine really good, putting it in a bottle and preserving that, sealing it. And so I don't mind the twist off caps up. In fact, when I'm doing wine tasting and I go to a wine taster, place and I see they're not using cork, I'll actually compliment the winemaker and say, thank you very much for stopping using that stupid cork tree's bark and providing a wine that is as you bottled it, right? I don't want to play roulette with my wine.
Yeah.
So end of my anti-cork.
No, it makes sense.
Actually, does make a lot of sense.
Makes a lot of sense. It's science, man, if you think about it.
So I know that, but it's traditional, and that's part of the problem. I run up against. I'm not a traditional. I don't think much of the traditional type of wine stuff. So, there are people, for example, that say the only proper Chardonnay is the old world Chardonnay, And I think, okay, that's your opinion. It's not a fact.
Right.
And it's a shame that you don't understand the wide variety of stuff. So that when you look at a nice, buttery, rich California Chardonnay, and you'll say, that's not a proper Chardonnay. Like, well, you might not like it, but there's a wide variety, and it's a shame that you think the only thing that's valid is that old world style stuff.
Right.
So I guess I'm a rebel in that sense. So other stuff that's happening around there on there. So Missy, what's new and exciting in your neck of the woods, if I may ask?
New and exciting in my neck of the woods. Absolutely fuck all. This is New England. They don't do anything up here.
Wow, that's true.
Well, but you're practically next to Canada. That must be something. Oh no, the border's closed. Canada's closed.
Yeah. Everything's closed. The schools don't know what they're doing. It's an absolute fucking shit show trying to navigate through this Zoom school bullshit. There was a drive-by shooting in front of my house the other day. That was about as exciting as it's been around here.
That's always fun.
Mm-hmm.
I love it when we have drive-by shootings.
Oh yeah, it was wonderful. It's always a good time.
Oh
Yeah.
dear. Oh dear. But hopefully everything's okay now there.
Oh yeah, it's quiet down now. Then thankfully I have a camera on my house, and so does the guy across the street and up the street a little ways further. So we were able to get like the car and give all the information to the police and stuff. So I think it's being handled now.
Yeah.
But you never know with the police that are in my city.
Trav from 2TO gave $5. Says take my. Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it. 622 Canada. So yeah, okay, thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. So now we have a total of $500 donated today. So if y'all just get Landon to 100 subscribers, boom, go made.
Yep, let's go. Get Landon to subscribers.
So let's say, and then you can work on. You can just contact your friend, just say, hey, subscribe to this thing, because again, part of the thing about being able to come back is that YouTube says you need to have a branded account. I recognize that there's only 2 weird placeholder things about making espresso at some company in Silicon Valley. I'll promise I'll put on stuff about our favorite universe, sciencey things. I'll have some wine and cheese, talk there. So there'll be content coming. So you will be rewarded with a subscriber. But right now, it's to get money to the great Pimpmunk to help his mom.
Yeah, so because if he gets to 100, he gets $10 for every subscriber. So that's 1,000, and that's good money. And then I will kiss Missy on the cheek.
Oh,
well, that's sweet. Thank you.
But she's got some ash there from weed.
So other things, what's happening in your neck of the woods there, Great Pimpmunk?
Oh man, well, we had a drive-by shooting.
No, I think MissyAnn was talking about shooting ammo out of a gun. Not that kind of drive-by shooting.
Yeah, I just drove by somebody's house and jerked off. And no, we like I said yesterday, we had a weather event, which was kind of scary because tornadoes are scary. And that's about it. Nothing much, really. Our governor's still an idiot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mine is too. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. I think everything's just still so hunkered down, and everyone's just still so scared of COVID that nothing is really. Everything's like a super slow news day, and no one wants to go and do anything.
That's the opposite here.
Scared of. That's how it is up here. Like no one's.
It's the opposite here, though. That's the problem.
No.
Nobody's scared of it here.
People are still scared of.
Yeah, and luckily we still got some responsible people, and I see some people still wearing a mask. But since the governor came out and said you don't really have to wear one, a lot of people's not wearing them.
Fucking crazy.
And they was like, well, it's down. The cases are down because we were wearing the mask. That's why. But and I know a lot of people get inoculated and all that, which is good. I can't wait. I gotta set me and Mom an appointment up pretty soon. But hopefully everybody gets inoculated, which I know they won't. But
yeah, I'm signed up to get the vaccine. I know you may think I'm old, but I'm not old enough to qualify in the first round. But they're making more and more vaccines available. Yeah. And so, as soon as I think I must be on the second tier of stuff. So having had heart valve repair plus being at the 6.0, I'm next to the next, but they're expanding the number of people that have vaccines. So I would encourage people to become vaccinated. And the one of the things in particular that's going to do is, should you catch the virus, which over time is greater chance of doing it if you're careful over time, the vaccine will help minimize the chance that you'll be sent to the hospital. It'll help your body fight it off.
I think that's what a lot of people don't understand too, is like some people are getting the vaccine and then you hear a little while later that they still got sick. And so then people are like, oh, the vaccine doesn't work. And people get the flu shot and still get the flu. It's just the vaccine is going to make it so that you don't fucking die from it.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you won't catch.
So there's a still good probability that you might catch the stuff, especially if you're not being careful and you think having a vaccine just means that you're not, like you are now impervious to fucking COVID, and that's not how it works.
Yeah, like, you don't want to be you're never going to be perverted to COVID.
Yeah. And of course, also being vaccinated doesn't mean that you can't give someone COVID-19, right? You can catch it and give it.
Right.
You can still give people herpes if you get vaccinated for COVID.
Yes.
You know, I think it's the silliest fucking thing right now. I just saw it.
Socks on a rooster?
That's pretty fucking silly. But
Yeah.
you know how everyone is up in arms about that Meghan Markle, Oprah Winfrey interview where we all basically, like, it was confirmed what we already knew, that the palace was a bunch of racist people.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you were surprised by that. I feel sorry for you. But then there was that big blowout of the Pierce Morgan had. Is that what his name is?
Yeah.
And whatever show Sharon Osbourne is one of the hosts of, apparently she says that they set her up to be a racist because she has an English accent. And they all had questions like written down, and she had no idea that they were going to be asking her questions like this, so she was set up or something.
Yeah, I watched the thing with her actually. I did, and she wasn't really saying anything. Right? She was just saying that she doesn't think Pierce is racist,
right?
But I don't know. It's just, well, I mean, look, if, as Missy just said, if you're shocked that the racism is coming out of the royal family, then you're crazy. And we all know, well, I don't know if y'all just know, but I know how Landon feels about the royal family.
Yeah.
Landon's not a fan. Let's just say that.
I think that it's weird that Americans are so obsessed.
I've never understood it.
And I think it's actually un-American to be, a
right. Like, we're not
patriotic.
obsessed with any other fucking royal family out there. What other ones do we follow like those?
If you want to be a patriotic American, consider what this country is founded on. Not a bunch of royalists saying, let's go and pay homage to King George III. The syphilistic,
you can
guy that was mad
in royalty.
The founding of the country was to essentially escape from royalty. And in fact, our Constitution has very explicit things that we're not allowed to give titles, right? We're not allowed to have people have knighthoods and all that sort of stuff. It's I think un-American to be into royalty. That's going to run counter.
Well, I think it's like one of those things, like, you know how some people are like, oh, you see a train wreck and you can't really look away.
Mm-hmm.
I feel almost like royalty is like that with some people, where they're just fascinated with royalty in general. But I feel like with a lot of Americans, they're fascinated with this specific royal family, and it's enough to the point where it's a lot of fucking people. But you don't see people doing the same thing with the king of fucking Vietnam, or the king of China, or they're the fucking kings out there, because I don't know what other kingdoms have kings, but you don't see it with every other one. It's only the royal family from the UK, and that's what I think is weird. Like, if you're gonna be into royalty, be into all of it.
I understand all of its nuances and stuff. So if someone wants to, I agree with you, Missy, if someone wants to go and claim they're divinely appointed by God to rule and whatever stuff, and they want to set itself as a tourist attraction, okay. Where I object is when they want to wield power, demand respect, and command loyalty. That's where I think royalty shows itself to be amongst the worst scum of the entire planet. To me, a person who is royal is the lowest amongst the lowest form of humanity that ever exists.
I mean, it's a way that humans used to have some form of civilization, I guess, back in the 1400s and the 1300s. But
to dominate power to control the humans,
and we're past that stage in humanity.
We're over it.
Right. So I mean, I can understand in a cultural sense wanting to keep your culture going, but I think it should be more of like You know how we have the Kardashians, how they're kind of like our American royalty, how
Yeah.
you know the people are interested in them and they have a lot of money and they go around and, you know, people follow them, but they don't have any actual power to do anything with the country. And I think that's what it should be more of with
and so you want to
family.
pretend to be something like you're
Right.
you're
Like, give them a
related to
document
the
or
Tsar of Russia
Right.
or King Louis, blah blah blah. You know, fine. And you want to even have people have pretend stuff, and you do create anachronisms and go to a Ren fair and blah blah blah. You know,
Right.
dress up and play things. But it's when you take it seriously, right?
Exactly.
And
I
the
think
former
government should be separate.
Yeah. The problem is the former United Kingdom takes that crap seriously, right?
Exactly.
And until they tell that bitch that's on the dole to get a life and to go in and get a real job and not pretend be appointed by God, the rule, and defender of the faith, and they'll be better off. Now, you know, I say, you know, that Pierre Stefan Morgan, that's his name, he's a sort of a English commentary, is probably, you know, is a deep royal sycophant, right?
Yes.
And he and I don't get along at all, right? He's very disturbed that I had, you know, I've cussed out one of Queen Elizabeth's children, and that, you know, I have denied an audience that wanted to meet with me of one of her grandchildren. And one of my goals in life is to be able to swear at the Queen of England in her presence. And I would do so with my Scottish ancestries and my, you know, my erosionary things cheering in the background. I mean, figuratively speaking, because if the Queen of England had any sense of decency, any sense of morality, she would recognize that she is representing an institution that has amongst the most vile scum on the earth, right? If you look at what that crown has done,
but even just what they did to Diana.
Yeah, even recently. I'm not talking about, you know, yes, the you know, the pillaging and raping they did in Scotland, you know, what King George did in the death of all those Scots, what they've done in the name of things, and the fact that, and they say, well, but blah blah blah, they're now, you know, she does a wave thing. I was like, no, they actually had the audacity to name one of their kids George. We're gonna have another King George online, and if they had any sense of decency, they'd know that, you know, naming stuff after King George is probably not a good thing, you know. And this bigoted family, Saxe-Coburg, that was their name. When it came to World War I, name became no longer fashionable to pretend you're German, right? The people on the throne are from Germanic, Bohemian area origins, right? And they renamed themselves how the Windsor because that sounded more English, right? So you want an example of their prejudice stuff? Look at that. And the problem is that the Queen's, she may not personally do damage, although she's done some things. It's all of her royal sycophants that do that. So, for example, her son, the guy that I swore at, helped overthrow the elected Prime Minister of Australia, called the Whitlam Affair. The palace with the Governor General, who was Queen Representative, encouraged now by Charles, we know that because we now have the letters, overthrew and deposed the duly elected Prime Minister of Australia back in 1975. I'm not kidding you. Go look up the things. And this is not some ancient thing about King Henry VIII and blocking out people's heads and so forth. And don't sing that stupid song about King Henry VIII. He was a very terrible person whose grave should be spit on. That's about the best thing he has. And so you sit there and say, oh, they're really harmless. No, they're not. Between the crown, for example, she permitted Boris Johnson to suspend Parliament in her name, even criticize him, but didn't do the proper thing, which is to fire him, right? She aided and abetted Boris Johnson to do a really terrible thing to democracy. her son participated in overthrowing an elected government, head of government in Australia. In our lifetime. This is not, and you've mentioned this stuff with Diana and so forth. And so this latest thing about the fact that there are a bunch of bigots, a bunch of prejudice stuff that are worried about the color of, that's they want to perpetuate that ground. So far from being embarrassed, they actually love all that stuff. And so you go back and look at, and I could go on and on and on about just how terrible that mark is. But if the Queen had any decency, she would resign and abolish the monarchy.
She doesn't.
She doesn't.
William
she's
Wallace
totally
tried to tell y'all this shit back in the day.
Anyway, sorry. Please subscribe to the channel in there. Now, my channel is not going to have lots of politics on it. It's going to be sciencey stuff. So we're at 56 subscribers. Help your thing. Yes, and Red Eye's correct. The CIA was part of that. The U.S. was part of it as well.
I'm just trying to say, William Wallace told y'all. Mel Gibson yelled it in the movie Braveheart.
He did.
Sorry. Yeah, I was triggered. Okay, I'm calm.
I said, no, I'm just saying. By God, they can take away our lives. They can't take away our freedom now.
Yeah.
Mel Gibson said it.
Well, that was just my point of the whole thing is I don't understand everyone's fucking obsession with these people. They're not good people.
It's okay to be fond of a fan of history and does stuff. Just don't subscribe to them any power.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? The fact I have no respect for the Queen of England and who she stands for and what she's done and what her children do and her grandchildren do, that I don't give them any power.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If they want to pretend to be part of the thing, okay, do it. But again, Scotland, right? As another.
You ever think she walks down like the halls of the castle, like there's some holes in this house?
It could be. You never know behind doors. But yes, 0006 space. I hope someday to be able to visit a independent and free Scotland. I hope at some point that people in the former United Kingdom understand its like the former British Empire, and so that the people of England stopped essentially abusing the Welsh, the Irish, the Scottish, and other folks, and that they just go their separate ways, so the English can be their stuff, and the Scots can be their stuff, and the Welsh can be their stuff, and the Irish can be their stuff, and
Well, we got 9 minutes for y'all to get landing subscribers.
So I tell you what, if we're at 56, so maybe I don't know, maybe if we had a Friday show, so that Ms. Baca could come on.
Or you just shut up.
Oh.
I don't know. That's been silly.
But I mean, that may be the thing to do is we can carry this forward.
August said he feels like the Queen crop dusts a lot, but no one can really say anything.
Good one, August.
She just goes around farting on people, and no one can say shit because she's the queen, and she'll have them like beheaded or something because they called out her farting. Yeah.
But yes, I am supporters of the Scottish independent movement. I actually have relatives that are members of the Scottish National Party, and they're in Holyrood. They're the members up there. They're not MPs down in Westminster, and so we're hoping someday that I think with Johnson and Brexit stuff, Scotland has another chance to do a referendum and declare itself to be independent. It's up to them, but I'm rooting for them. So sorry for being triggered, but
I didn't mean to trigger you. I just thought it was a ridiculous thing. I didn't know it would trigger you so bad.
That's okay.
We have a long family history and oral legends about Mark. And to be fair, my ancestors fell out of favor with the royal family because they had a change of house, right? There was a change in family, so they were the old guard. New guard came in back in the 1400s, and so that's the problem is that monarchies change, and if you're syncopated with one and new people come along, one of the things that new people do is go and do in the old folks.
Right.
So
why didn't Shabby just go lay down instead of just stayed in the thing?
I don't know.
I hope he's laying down.
Even realized that. I don't know if he realized he stayed in it.
Yes.
Like he just covered it up and just fell the fuck out. Like, oh, feel good. And then he's just drooling on himself in his chair right now.
I hope he's doing okay. I mean, I do.
I think he's just hungover and sleeping.
I think he's got AIDS.
But again, with your permission, we can carry this goal forward to tomorrow. And
Well, as long as I get my what I made today.
oh yeah, I will at the end of this thing. We're right now. We're at 57. So let me go on. And you're saying that right now it's the PayPal process.
Yeah.
Go and do that thing. So let me put on my word.
It's $2. That's it. $2 a subscriber, Landon. That's it.
$10. 10. Oh,
$20 I meant.
Oh. Let's see. So where are we right now? We are at 57. All right.
So 570.
Let's do that 5%. Now, as I say, if we want to continue this forward for tomorrow, we can.
We can. And if I make it tomorrow, I'll give Missy and Shabby just a little taste of it too. I would do it today, but most of that shit's going on my bill. I'll see if I can. Shabby has expired, unfortunately, but all the weed has perfectly preserved him like a mosquito in amber.
Ooh, that reminds me. I saw a thing. These scientists have found a triceratops skull.
Yeah.
And in the skull, they have found material where they found they know that it contains a DNA code.
Wow.
But they're trying to figure out a way to get it out without destroying the fossil itself. Which I think if you're going to be able to get dinosaur DNA, you might as well just say, you know what, we can deal without this one fossil here. Because
minimize the damage to
that's what I think that they're trying to figure out how to do, but
and also make sure they extract it carefully and not contaminate it.
You are using the SS Woman X one, right, Landon?
Yes.
Okay.
Because the other one that has that name says you're not able to do stuff.
But yeah, they microscoped into there and they found a whole bunch of cells, and the cells they're looking at them through the microscope, and they're like, this stuff has DNA code in it.
Microscoped.
They microscoped.
With that accent, it's scooped.
Microscoped. But they did. They took their microscopes and they went and looked inside the triceratops head, and they found DNA code. And we're going to get Jurassic Park dinosaurs. We're going to get dinosaurs.
Thank you, Landon. Appreciate it. You said thank you. Hell, you didn't have to do this. You didn't have to thank me for 57 subscribers. Jurassic Park. That's a TikTok that's going around where she says, yeah, she roars and he says, what is that? He says, she says, dinosaur. And he said, oh, you talking about those things from Jurassic Park.
Yeah, so I don't know I don't know how complete of DNA they've found on there.
I don't know if it's absolutely complete, but I think it's enough for them to try to recreate a dinosaur.
We'll see. We'll see. I'm
hope.
they've been doing amazing things with some of the DNA stuff. So we'll see. Hopefully, there's enough material there that they can at least understand more genetic structure of stuff.
I hope.
And
I hope. I hope.
I believe.
I want dinosaurs. So I think I
Wow.
want dinosaurs. Even if
Dinosaurs.
it's a triceratops, just one.
So
Well-
we're at 57 subscribers, and thank you very much for helping me help Pimpmunk's mom, who's
Yeah.
cool. And so we can do this on Friday.
Yeah,
to
we can
see if
fix-
we can scare up another. And by the way, between then and now, if we get more, we'll do some more there. But we're all for a good cause.
Yeah, and I want to thank everybody for doing it, taking part. Thank you, especially PT and John Lewis Vega. Yeah, John Lewis Vega. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure you go and watch Landon's channel when he gets good and going.
Yeah, I'll get real content on it. I promise. We'll get good content. Just subscribe, and you'll get the notification about stuff. And I'll put in some sciencey stuff, and we have some wine and cheese, especially with some of these fine.
Our
folks
cheese
here.
and wine.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on whether you're the other side of the world or not.
Yeah. If you're from Australia, just have a goddamn kangaroo nutsack and a fucking beer. But anyways, that's it for the show. Hope Shabisky gets to feeling better. I don't know what happened to Miss Parker, but I hope she gets to feeling better too, or not. But anyways,
Thank
we'll
God.
see you guys tomorrow. Thank you all. Goodbye. Shabisky did suck today because